here in the studio with Gia. How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Can't complain. It's a little hot outside, but we're doing pretty good. So, hold on real quick. Sorry, I gotta adjust something. Way to start the podcast and then be like,
Yeah,
I
Goose.
forgot to turn the volumes up.
Yeah, we're good to go.
So, for those of you who don't know, Gia is a, what do you call yourself?
A wannabe stunt rider. No, I just like to ride bikes. Honestly, an aspiring stunt rider, will. Yeah.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been riding for about 4 years. I've been stunning for about 2.
Oh wow.
I was kind of on and off. I've been through a couple accidents and whatnot, so obviously that's gonna slow you down a little bit, you know. But yeah, it's about 2 years doing this.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, we saw your Instagram. I started following. Oh my God, who was it? I think it was Robin Stunts or something like that.
Robin, yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
So I found her, and then 2 of us. And then I started pulling up all these pages, and then I stumbled upon your page and stuff, and I was like, "Wow, this chick's badass."
Well, thank you.
Because I grew up. I'm from Colorado as well. We talked about this for we're on air, guys. But I rode freestyle motocross.
Okay.
So I did that for. I started riding when I was 5. I think I did freestyle for about 5 years, from 17 to like 20 something.
That's super cool.
So I understand the way it is. So like, yeah. And I knew a lot of girls that rode bikes and did stuff, and like, they definitely weren't at the level that you're at.
Thank you. Yeah.
No offense to women or anything, but like sometimes, usually is like, they're kind of just like, they just like hanging out with the guys that are riding motocross or something like that, but
what made you want to get into it?
Oh, well, so my whole family rides. I'm kind of like the black sheep of the family, because everybody rides a Harley, like wild hogs, cruising and type thing. And so my mom got me into it. And I ended up meeting a buddy of mine. His name is Keith, back in Denver. And he owns this brand called Cynical Productions now. And he was the first one who introduced me to it. He's pulled out. I saw him doing wheelies one night and I was just hanging out there. I had a ZX10 at the time, hanging out, watching him. And he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, like, do you want to try? Like, do you want to go ride?" And he let me ride his bike. And the very first night that I tried to do a wheelie, I asked him, I was like, "How do you do this, man?" He looked at me. He's like, "Rev it up, dump the clutch, hit the brake." He's like, "That's it. That's it." I'm like, "All right." And I did it. I looped that bike 3 times that night. And I loved it. I fell in love with it.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know. And
you've been riding ever since?
Ever since like that night, I was like, I want to do this. Like, I want to learn how to stunt. I want this to be a career for me,
Yeah.
So
was that the 4 years ago then? That was like your first time riding a street bike?
No.
Okay.
When I was 17. I got my license and whatnot. Took the course and everything. It was a family thing at first, and then I decided to go do something else.
Took it to the next level.
My parents were not happy. They were like, "What are you doing? Doing wheelies? What?" Like,
they just wanted you to be a wild hog.
Yeah.
She's like, "I never got my patch."
I never did. I never got the vest.
So what do you ride? I noticed you're on a supermoto, right?
I am. I'm on a WR250X.
Okay.
Yes. It's a lot of fun. I learned on a little Z125, which is like the Kawasaki version of a Grom. I had an FRI, which it's old, like 2001 600cc sport bike, and then I just I felt the most comfortable. I've never ridden dirt bikes in my life. I've never rode motocross, but for some reason I just fell in love with the dirt bikes. Like, I was so comfortable, I felt so at home, and I wanted the 250. It's a good bike to learn on. It's not too much power, but it's just enough to like work on your fundamentals. What I mean?
Exactly.
And I just got it. I've had it. I've coming up on maybe a year now, a little less than a year. So
so before that, you were on like the Grom type deal.
I was on. Yeah, I had my sport
I think
bike.
I've seen those pictures.
Yeah, and then I had my Z, my little.
So did you learn how to wheelie on a full size crotch rocket then?
No. So I tried to at first, but I ended up breaking my leg. I have a huge scar. Yeah, I snapped my femur in half. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, I snapped my leg in half, and I tore my leg open. The bike did, and
was that like? Were you on a closed course or?
Nope. I was in a lot, like a back lot that we all go ride at and whatnot, and yeah,
was that here in Vegas?
It was actually. Yeah, it was. And
how long did that put you down for?
I was walking after 3 months, but riding it took me. Yeah, lucky. I got super, super blessed, like beyond blessed. But I rode probably close to a year later, just because like that was really like really traumatic for me. So I almost bled out. It was very like, I try to laugh about it, like, haha, broke my leg, it's so funny, like pimping, peg leg, like, but no, it was.
So is it all
crazy.
plated and stuff, like screwed together?
Yeah, so I have a titanium rod going down the center of my femur, and I have 2 screws, and I have one in like my knee, and then 2 going that like X like this that go into my hip. Wow. And then I have that big, like you can kind of see it, but I have a huge scar. Wow. Yeah, huge scar on my leg, and got very lucky that night. But it's I kind of tell people, they're like, what happened? I'm like, I got bit by a shark in Mandalay Bay. Like, swear it was crazy. I punched him in the face. Like, he backed off.
Stabbed it in the eye.
Yeah, exactly.
So how fast were you going when that happened? Was it slow wheelies?
Yeah, I was going like maybe 20, 30 miles per hour.
Bike just landed wrong, or?
Well, so initially, I was 18 at the time. I had just moved out here. I've been out here for a month, not even. And I was riding and I didn't know how to wheelie. And because, like what in a wheelie, like your foot brake is what keeps you from going over. And that's something you have to learn, because your natural instinct is to take your feet off when you get too far back, And I was going and I got one up to, I was on a full size sport bike. I should not have been on this bike. Like there was no reason. Yeah. But I was on a full size sport bike and I popped one up that was a little too high. And I was just kind of like, oh shit, here we go, And I went towards this dumpster, and some bikes, they have, right? That dumpster's still there. You know that? The dumpster is still there. I still ride there, and I look at it, and I'm like, you, bro. Like,
is there like a dent from where you?
Oh yeah, there's like a mark.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's like.
You should like sign it.
I've thought about it. I'm like,
you should definitely sign that and take some pictures with it.
I know, right? Like, hey.
I know you said you still have some problems with it, so maybe it'll help you overcome some of them.
Yeah, right. Like sit there on the. I actually did take pictures on that. I sat on that dumpster. I was like, yeah. But yeah, so I hit it. The cage hit the dumpster, and that helicoptered the bike in the air. And then when I landed, I whiskey throttled, because it's a loading, like where semis load and all that. So there's a wall next to this dock, and I clipped it with I whiskey throttled into the wall, and it broke my leg. And then the bike pretty much like catapulted me over the front. And on stunt bikes, there's a handbrake, which is like a brake. So you can do like stand-ups, and like they stand up on the seat and they jump around. There's a brake on your left, like underneath the clutch, that attaches to the rear, like the rear brake and the rear rotor. Yeah, so you can stand up, because again, rear brake keeps you from going over, Yeah. So I flipped over that, and that master caught my leg as I flipped, and it ripped my leg open, and like my bone was exposed. And everybody's like, "Did the bone?" Yeah. Like did the bone come through? Like the bone never came through, but it was showing. Series of unfortunate events. Very much. Like, yeah, I got very lucky. The EMTs, they said that I had 75 seconds to live, and if it wasn't for my friend, he saved my life. Him and I are very close to this day. You know what I mean? He really he put the tourniquet on my leg. He made sure that I didn't.
So they put a tourniquet on you. And
he was the only one who knew what to do too. He was the only one who ran up and.
So then it would have ripped like some of your major arteries. Then.
Oh yeah, it missed my femoral artery, but like by maybe a centimeter.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So thankfully I didn't I don't know what would have happened if that artery did get severed, but a femur being broken as it is already like a very traumatic. Like you lose a lot of blood. And then on top of that, my leg got ripped open. So then that's like, I had to get like a bunch of blood transfusions and whatnot when I was in the hospital.
Your family really wanted you to be a wild hog, huh?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Bless my mom. She literally it happened at like 10 or 11 at night. So it's midnight in Denver, you know? Yeah. She gets this call from like the last person that she wants to get a call from. Like literally... The person, like, this is not the person that, like, it would be different if it was, like, my friend or no. It was, like, somebody that, like, is just not really, like, in my life, like, and then, and she gets this call, like, hey, your daughter's on the way to the hospital. She's been in a motorcycle wreck. She broke her leg, and it's midnight, and she's just sitting there, like, what the fuck? Like,
wow.
what do we do? So
well, that's first of all, that's the wrong way to start a conversation with
Yeah,
any mom.
like-
Your daughter's been in a wreck.
Seriously, and she was like, and that she was freaking out when she came. She's like, "This is all they told me. They told me you were in a wreck, and they had to like, just like you guys really like did not help my mom."
The first place they go there
like,
is like you're mangled between like 3 cars.
yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Like, but she
That's
flew out.
insane.
Yeah, she flew out that morning, and yeah, she's
man.
my number one supporter. She still supports me. She supports my writing, and actually really loves that I do it now. But at the time, she did not.
So how long back on the bike? I guess after that, you could say how long did it take you to start wanting to wheelie and stuff again, or were you missing it while you were in the cast?
Oh, I was missing it.
Okay.
I was so, and thankfully, so I didn't end up getting a cast because of my flesh wound. So they just, that's why they put the bar in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, my surgeon came in the next day and he was like, "You could go snowboarding tomorrow if you want to do." He's like, "It's going to hurt, but your leg's not going to break." I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. Like,
So then, like getting
But-
back up on it wasn't very difficult.
it was and it wasn't because I like to use the term like PTSD very lightly because I know there's a lot of people that have seen and experienced really horrible things.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
like when you do go through an accident, it definitely like changes something in your brain.
Absolutely.
So like I used to that was the hardest thing for me was the mental, like there were I remember everything from that night. So like sounds that were, because like when you wheelie and you stunt, like the sounds are all very similar throughout. You start to
Yeah.
recognize sounds and like what sound the bike's gonna make when it's doing. And chasing a bike up to balance point used to send me into panic attacks. Like I would just start crying and like hypervent because that was the last sound I heard.
Wow.
Okay.
And like I wake up with night terrors. My friend actually, he didn't pass away. Well, he did, but they brought him back because of a accident. And I would call him in the middle of the night and say, how did you deal with this? How did you get through these? How did you deal with this? And that was the hardest part. Like, but if you got a love for something, you know what I mean? Like you really have to understand that it is, your brain is incredible, and
Yeah.
you got to kind of trick it to
No, absolutely.
continue to do
Yeah.
what you love. You know what I mean? Like regardless of.
Well, that shows too, like that you really do love doing that.
Yes.
If you did that and then continued riding still. So
I remember
Thank
whenever
you.
something would happen or something like that, ride motocross, the first thing I would do if I wasn't injured beyond repair at the point in time is I would get back on the bike, do it one more time,
100%.
and then I would put the bike away.
Every
know.
time.
And that's what my wife rides horses and stuff like that, and she gets bucked off. It's like get back on. She jumps on. She'll do like a loop, and then she's good. I'm like, that's fine if you're hurt right now, but like you gotta get back on, especially for mental. So that's why I was asking, having to go through that and being off the bike for so long, and then getting back on it. How was it? Because that would probably fuck with me pretty good.
yeah.
Because if I ever didn't get back up and jump back on, I probably would have not
Especially,
done
like-
90% of the things I did.
How painful was it?
Honestly, I got lucky enough that it was really not as painful as some would imagine. So I tore my ACL about a year ago. That recovery and like it's been a year, like maybe 2 weeks ago. That recovery hurt more, and that tear that hurt more than breaking my leg. Like
Really?
yeah. Well, and you're in so much shock, that your brain goes blank and you just don't.
Feel anything?
Yeah, and by the time you do feel anything, like I hardly remember the hospital. They put so much morphine and stuff in painkillers, and they really made sure like that it wasn't the only painful, like when people moved it, but of course that's gonna hurt. Like, but other than that, I got really lucky to not have. I don't have feeling. I have a lot of nerve damage in my legs, so like there's certain areas of my leg I just can't feel at all,
Okay.
or I'll feel in different areas. But it wasn't like the worst pain, I'd say. Like I got lucky, again, the body is amazing, adrenaline shock, completely numbs you,
Yeah.
A lot of the times, wadding it up pretty hard. You usually don't feel it till like a while later.
Yeah.
I remember like bailing out of some pretty big hits, and then you're like, well, that didn't hurt at all. Then the next day you're fucking crying.
Yeah.
And it's like the littlest thing. But you're like, I'm going to take like a month off. I'm never getting back on. And then you do.
Yeah, you'd say you're like, I'm going to stop. You're like, no.
I just remember it was every time I crashed, because when I did it, I was younger. But every time I crashed, like even to this day, it'd still be the first. I'd call my mom. Hey, this is what happened. You're going to come home. There's some holes in me. It's not pretty. Don't worry. I'm okay. I cleaned them out, blah, blah, blah. And then she'd come home and freak out for a second. I'm selling your bike. I'm like, don't do that. And then she'd be like, okay, I'm not selling it. But yeah, so parents were always, my mom was always the hardest part. So Definitely, I feel bad for your mom for that situation.
She's wow, like yeah, she's a trooper. Like moms are, and like it's just me and her, and like I have a very small like family, like me, her, and my aunt. You know, very tight knit. You know, and all of them were just like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why do you want to do this again?" And I have a picture of it actually, but I was in the hospital for a week, and when I was leaving, I had like the walker. It was folded up, so it only had 2 wheels. And I looked at my mom and I was like, "Hey, mom," and I like popped it up and I put my legs out. I'm like, "I jumped to spreader." And she like looked at me. She's like, "I hate you. Like, I can't believe you're talking about that right now." And you know, after a long time, I just sat down with, and again, my mom's my number one supporter. You know, like, so I love her, so she just supported it.
When you're doing this, do you try and stay off of the streets, or do you go on the streets more than not?
I do. I do like to ride on the streets. Definitely, like it's a guilty pleasure. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's different, and it's also a little bit. It's more challenging. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot. We're not trying to be menaces. We're not trying to cause problems. We're not trying to get in the way, and a lot of and I'm not, and because like I can ride, but I'm not. I'm not a pro. Like I'm. I have dreams of getting there. Like I can wheelie, but like I'm not some kind of amazing person on the bike. But there's people, that have been doing this for years and years and years, and are just like incredible and do crazy things, and they're in more control on one wheel than they are on 2. And a lot of people don't understand that, driving and whatnot. And it's just different, But like I like to personally learn in the lot. Like if there's something new that I want to try on the bike, or like a different kind of trick, or something that I may or may not be able to land. A lot's just a little bit more secure.
So you only do like things you're absolutely comfortable with on the street.
100%. It's kind of like it's kind of like a show versus like whatever you would call like a rehearsal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you do everything like confident that you're like, I can do this in my sleep. No problem on the streets. And then when you go to a lot, that's when it's like, okay, this is practice.
Because you do see a lot of people that are like idiots and try something new on the street, and then they end up getting ran over or something.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people can learn on the streets. I know a lot of my friends have pulled things out of nowhere on the streets, or have strictly learned out there. So it's not impossible, but it's just a higher risk factor.
Is there more of a rush on the street?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it's definitely. It's just harder. Like there's a lot more. It's unexpected. You don't know if there's gonna be bumps. You don't know if there's gonna be cars. You don't know if there's gonna be like. And again, we're just trying to have fun. Yeah.
Cops are the biggest adrenaline rush.
The biggest thing, and it's like me personally, I'm not. It's not my favorite thing to mess with the law and like taunt them. Like we're what we're doing. It's an illegal sport, of course, but we're not trying to. We're not criminals, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're just a bunch of people on bikes who like to ride together, who just like to do things a little different. And instead of just ride, they like to stunt, and
because I grew up with we're in police and military family, and my wife's a police officer and everything. So like I understand, like I think that like some of the cops that I knew when I grew up, like one of them was probably one of the craziest stunt riders I had ever seen.
Really?
And he was a police officer. But when he wasn't working, that's all he was doing was riding wheelies, and he would do like 80-mile-an-hour brakies.
Oh, that's
like the guy was nuts.
It's crazy.
But like whenever he would see bikes and stuff like that, he would just like, hey guys, like he hit his lights, like calm down a little bit, not while I'm here. Yeah. Let me get away first at least. So you do see a lot of cops that are cool with it though.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely like definitely are lucky, especially like because I know in different areas around the country, like they're not so lucky. Like there's a lot of officers who go for the bikes and and that's like
Colorado's a terrible place for that.
Yes, yes, very much. They're not a fan. Like but it's just been changing, which is nice. Like the attitude has been, and there's if you're respectful, like again, it's just an attitude. They flip their lights. Oh, you put it down and then go on your merry way and then go do it somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's not.
I know I talk to a lot of officers and stuff like that too, and they'll be like, I would rather just flip my lights real quick and let them know like, hey, just don't do that right now, or while I'm around at least, instead of trying to fucking pull them over and then they take off and get in an accident and kill themselves.
Absolutely.
Because that's like the last thing you want to do is there's a group of bikes. I'm sorry, but like it doesn't matter if it's Forest Service, whatever it is. I've been on all of it. As soon as you see them, you fucking go. Especially if there's like 30 of you, you know.
Yeah, and it's just
that's a good chance.
Yeah, and you just kind of mind, you mind your business and you be and again, to each their own, like but it's like people, you know what I mean? Like some people are gonna be like, yeah, like disrespect God, let's talk, and like do you, man, but like those are your whatever happens, like
they like almost get a rise out of it.
That's the thing.
Yeah, like
they
that's
like it.
Yeah, and like if you do. That's on you. You know, if you like that, then go. Like more power to you. Not my thing. Like I just want to ride with my friends and be left alone.
There's been times when I was up like in like the off like a desert ride and stuff like that in the forest guide, and you actually pull over and he's like, "Fuck, you stop for, man."
Like, what are you
now
doing?
I gotta do something.
Shocked.
You're just like, you stopped.
Yeah, you stop, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck, next time I'll run. He's like, just fucking go over the hill or something, man.
So have you
Don't
gotten in
wanna
trouble
work today.
like a fair amount of times?
Me personally, I'm a knock on wood. No, I have not.
Okay.
I've definitely seen my fair share of crazy things like with the officers and whatnot, and it's just like because there's a lot of like rides out of state, and those are like thousands and thousands of bikes. So, but crazy rides, like huge. A lot of them are like in Texas and whatnot.
Okay.
Bigger cities. Like
so you were just down in Texas, right?
I was down in Texas. I love it down there. They have a very good, like, great community, great people.
Texas is cool.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity. So, Texas is awesome. But just bigger cities typically have like the bigger rides, and that's where or even California. But that's where you get most of like.
Nobody wants to live in California.
Nobody wants to live in California. Nobody wants to live in California. But no, nothing like, with big groups like that, like they'll kind of show up and it's kind of like a big scary guy's like, rah, and then he just kind of turns around and walks away. You know what I mean? Because they can't stop thousands and thousands of bikes. But
exactly.
And at the same time, like these riders aren't just kids on bikes. You know what I mean? They've been doing it for years. They're borderline professional, like,
well, that's
doing this, you know what I mean? Like,
if I were in their shoes, if I pulled up to something like that and I saw 100, 200 bikes going down the street, they got guys videotaping and stuff like that. They're all in gear, being respectful, things like, I would be like, all right, these guys know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Let me just keep an eye on them, make sure they don't get crazy.
Like you said, there's
like
a difference between professionals and a bunch of kids. You
You see a bunch of guys riding wheelies with no helmets and they're wrapping their dirt bikes and doing this, and they got 4-wheelers on the street, no plates, anything like that. You're like, all right, dude.
Yeah, and like it's just and it's talent, you know what I mean? Like these people put in this community puts in a ton of work to get to that point, and we're really just trying to like get it recognized, the sport, because like you freestyle motocross, people when they first started doing it, they're like, what the hell, these kids are doing backflips off a dirt jump, like get the police, like what, like what is this? And now it's a sport in the X Games, and that's what that's kind of what all of us as a community are trying to do, is to get this recognized. We're not criminals, we're people who put a lot of time and effort and love into this passion and do incredible things on motorcycles, you know what I mean? Like
it goes the same for cars and stuff, because we're in the car scene and things like that, and it's the same exact thing. Like we put so much time and stuff to like go out and like to get hassled with. I mean, that's why I hated Colorado for having lowered cars, because
the car community out there is insane.
It's like, but it's I remember I'd get pulled over like twice a week, so much that like the cops would come up and be like, oh hey, I pulled you over last week. I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? He's like, well, I guess there's nothing wrong. You got a clean record. I'm like, yeah, like, dude, we just went through this, man. I know my car's lowered, but
they have a vendetta for lowered cars, I swear, out there. Like,
I think they called it like the Fast and the Furious law when I was out there, because this was when I was like, this one it just came out. Like it was like still like a thing. Everybody was doing it. But they were all like just putting loud pipes and stuff and lowering their cars. And it was like the Fast and the Furious law they were putting into effect. And everybody that I knew had a car just hit. But Colorado has a decibel meter. It can't be like above like 92 dB.
That's right. They have like all those certain
their little meters and everything.
So for no reason, like even let them lower their car. Like why do you care if you got to go over speed bumps sideways? It's not your car. Like,
well, I think they changed it since, because it was a big because for dirt bike riders, if you were going to street legal your bike's already over the limit. So that's why, because they're already loud.
Oh yeah,
especially riding like a 4-stroke or something like that. Like your bike's loud. Yeah, your bike's loud as shit. So like they were like getting tickets. They're like, dude, I just got my bike street legal. What are you talking about? Yeah. So I think they've lightened up on the laws down there, but I don't know. I refuse to go back.
I don't want to thaw. I'm tired of thawing my car out. That should be a thing. Like, I got to get up an hour earlier for work because I got to let my car thaw. Like,
yeah, I was telling my wife about that, because she's from here. born and raised, and then coming from Colorado, I was like, yeah, we have to plug our cars in at night. She's like, what?
What?
She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you know what that means?
They die. Like they can't survive. Like,
yeah, we were talking to somebody else in the podcast. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, well, you go out there, you like turn the key, and it just doesn't do anything. You're just like, all right, I'm gonna call work, tell them my car's frozen. I'll see you guys tomorrow unless the sun hits it.
You, like heat it up, you know.
And then it was funny when we moved here because like it rains and they're like, hey, no work today. It's like, what? It's raining.
Like, I'm trying to go out and send that. You know what I mean? Like, automatic start is a must in Colorado. Automatic start.
Yeah, it was like our first month out here. My wife came home early. She worked at a dealership at the time, and like she comes home and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, they sent me home. It's raining. They said that we can't work in these conditions. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's rain. Like, it's a foot of snow before I got to call into work.
Seriously. Like, if that, they're like, no, you can make it.
Right.
You can make it. It's fine.
No, figure it out.
Seriously.
That's hilarious. I was going to ask, so I was watching some of your videos. Do you have like a record for like your longest wheelie?
I don't.
No, you haven't like seen how far you can go yet?
I haven't timed it. I know I have a couple video clips. Like I actually just posted one that was 1 minute and 15 seconds, which is the longest one I have on camera. But I don't know, honestly. Like it really like once you figure out like the concept of wheeling, it's really like because in theory everything has a balance point. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And once you just understand it, you can just sit there. Honestly, like consistent. It's
infinitely
just,
ride.
Pretty much. Like, and if you just, I mean, obviously, like road conditions change, or you'll get tired, so the bike will move. But if you're just consistent, like you can just.
That's what Doug DeMocus is, right?
I don't actually.
So, now I feel old.
You shouldn't feel old. I feel young. Like,
Doug DeMocus is the Wheelie King. He was back in like he used to do all the monster truck halftimes and stuff back in like through the 80s and 90s.
Okay. I wasn't. But
like he has like all the records. He has like all the records for like the longest wheelies.
Okay.
But like he used to like do like he rode 3-wheelers because they were still around. But he would do like wheelies up like tight ropes and stuff like that.
That's cool.
But everybody would ask him, and he's like, he said that he felt more comfortable riding a wheelie because of the balance points. But that's how he learned how to do it.
It's a crazy feeling, and especially when you're going up something, like it's a little bit because it changes. Like I said, like you're going down, you got to come back a little bit farther. You're going up something, you can sit a little bit lower just because of like the terrain and all that. But it's really like you feel like you're flying, like you're floating, like it's crazy. It's crazy and then you're like in your mind you're like I'm doing this, like I'm in control of this machine right now that is on one, and it's all balanced. Like it's just if there's a lot of gymnasts in the community that are really a natural right away, or a lot of athletes transfer from. I know a ton of people who used to play football, soccer, baseball, like all of these sports, and if you're an athletic person and you have like a good sense of balance, you'll pick stuff up like this pretty quickly, because you already kind of understand, how to keep something out of, and that's what it is. It's just you're balancing. You're at balance point when the engine is directly above the back tire. That's how you'll know, like you're not like straight up and not like 12 o'clock, but like it's like kind of like a 45-degree angle ish. But that's like when the engine is like right above the rear tire, like that's when you'll feel it. It'll sit and it'll balance, and it's really cool. Like
science.
Much science. I'm terrible at science. Don't take anything serious. Just a theory.
She's like, so now you're like 12 o'clock, but you're like 8:30.
You're like not 12, but like, I don't even a little bit in front of 12, but like 1:30, 11:30, like
1:15 or 12:15.
12:15.
She's like, it's 12:05 when you hit that right balance point. I'm like, wait, what? No. When I learned how to ride wheelies standing on the seat. 'Cause I got an RM125 when I was 11, and I didn't weigh enough because I couldn't even touch. So if my bike stalled, it just fell over in the field. So when I learned how to ride,
you have to like stop on a rock.
Yeah, so like people would like stop or something would happen, and like I'd be like ditch, rock.
No.
Like, fuck! And then I just fall over, and then I'd have to wait for somebody to come pick my bike up for me. So like
slow motion too.
I didn't have enough weight to kick back to get the bike to pick up. So my dad, this is another the Doug DeMocus, Wheelie King. He would ride wheelies standing up on the seats, and Evel Knievel did it and stuff like that. So like I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch. Like I'm watching these videos, and I'm like, oh, maybe if I tried that. So I did it once, and that was the only way I could get the front end off the ground.
There you go.
But I could ride wheelies forever standing on the seat. I never got good at it standing up though or sitting down. Sitting down, I fucking suck. I can never figure it out. I can't figure out that balance point.
Sit downs are way harder. Like and that's like again
because that's when you got to bring the brake and shit into effect.
Yeah, and you got to be way far. Like sit down, stand ups. Like you can see. That's really what it is. Like if you're on top, even like so. I just do like knee knockers, so my knee is up on the seat, and like when you're up there, you can see over the bars, and then it's like, oh my gosh, like I can actually see where I'm going. And sit downs, you know, you're leaning around the bike because it's in front of you, and it's way harder but they're so cool. Like sit down, I love them. Like it's just, in my opinion, I think they're just very like classic, you know, like super classic sit down. It's not because it's the only thing I can do right now because I'm hurt, but you know, I just it's just fun, you know, like it's
that's what I was going to ask too is your injuries, do they like prevent you from doing certain things still?
A little bit, not so much my femur,
like your mobility stuff, or is it your ACL or whatever?
It's my ACL, yeah, because so I broke my right leg and then I tore my left ACL. You know, like a couple of years later, well, a year ago. And that part, you know, with the ACL recovery, they have especially if you're an athlete, they make you like a brace made to your leg. So I have that right now, and you're supposed to wear that, like, you're supposed to wear it for a year. So once you hit your year mark on your surgery, you're supposed to wear that for another year.
Oh, wow.
And then, then you kind of decide like, oh, do I need it? Do I not need it? And that's what it makes it really hard. So like, you know, when I was saying like the only thing I can do is sit downs right now, I can't like go from sit down to jump up to my knee to jump back down because I can't like get my brace is so bulky. It's not that I can't do it. It's really difficult to get my knee, like it'll get caught on the seat. So it's just a learning curve, you know. I just kind of got to jump a little bit higher, but it's definitely like the brace is the biggest thing. It gets in my way, and like, standing up, I haven't set my bike up to do any stand-up type things, but I'm a little bit hesitant just because you know, for a foot drag, I'm in a wheelie, I go down to touch the ground. Do I touch it with my torn ACL or do I touch it with my broken leg? Like, which one do I decide, you know? So, but it's learning curves, you know, you just gotta, I want to learn how to do it. So you got to figure out a way around it, you know?
So that makes sense because you guys got the handbrake too for your rear. So you don't give a fuck where your feet are.
No. Yeah. Okay. Some people, I mean, like there's a lot of people, especially it's really common with dirt bikes, like way more common. No handbrake whatsoever. They're jump around the seat. They're doing like, I know guys who can circle their bike with no handbrake, which is, I don't even understand how. Like I couldn't even. I watched them. I'm like, how are you doing this? Like
circle, you mean?
Circle, like pop it up and like do a wheelie in a circle.
Okay.
Yeah, and like
where they just stay in one.
Yeah, and like they're literally just like I know guys who could do probably a circle like in the size of this room.
Jesus.
Yeah, like, and it's hard, but you have to bring it like really far back to get it to tip, you know, like the tire to turn, and they do it without a
more
handbrake.
science.
Yeah, more science, right? Lots of science. It's crazy. Like I don't know. I'm terrible at science, you know. But
we gotta get that to 11:46,
right? Like,
before you start turning.
Seriously, you got a little bit farther back, you know, like. But they can do it without, and typically, like most people use a brake to bring it back to do that, and it's just it's a talent thing. But my whole problem, I don't have a problem with it. I give them crazy props, like you're insane, you're doing with this no brake. I don't want to go too far. I want to save myself. I'm okay on that, you know. And like I need a break. And me personally, like I don't want to accidentally, because I'm not as good as that. I don't know. Again, I don't know how.
What'd you say?
I hit my cable. I said, oh shit.
That's awesome. No, yeah, I enjoy watching all that stuff. I never did them, but a couple of the guys I rode with, they used to have I forget his name, but he went all over the place. He did all his Wheelie halftime shows in between the freestyle stuff.
That's cool.
And I was always just like thought it was fucking the coolest thing I'd ever seen. But
it is cool, especially when you see guys with like a freaking like Hayabusa or some shit doing it. You're like, what?
It's crazy.
I'm terrified of the street. I love like the dirt. And I'm an idiot. But as soon as I get on the street, I freak out. I'm fine in a car. I like being stupid in a car.
That ground is hard.
Very hard.
Anytime
asphalt hurts.
Yeah. That's when I learned how to do brakies. I rode with a bunch of guys. They were on like the Red Bull Ride of the Hills and stuff like that back in the day. And I was like, how do you guys do brakies so good? He's like, well, go out, find yourself like a nice stretch of asphalt. I was like, yeah. He's like, put it in third gear and grab a handful. He's like, first time you smack your face, you're not going to do it again. And I was like, sweet. So
Cool. I'll be right back.
sweet. I'll be right back. So like a couple of front fenders later, you know, I could break you pretty good.
Hey, the only way you learn is if you crash. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? Like
You learn that balance point real quick when you shove your face into the asphalt.
oh yeah, you're like, don't do that. Okay, not
Do you
that.
do a lot of front like breaky stuff or no?
I'm learning.
Okay.
They're scary. They're definitely scary.
Especially on a dirt bike. Radiators are expensive.
Well, and there's a joke that's like they call them stoppies, and like stoppies separate the men from the boys. And I think it's funny, but like
It's kind of sexist, but it's okay.
it's
No, I'm just kidding.
a little bit. No, they're scary. They're really hard, and like they're, you know, like a wheelie, if you loop a wheelie, you're behind the bike and it goes in front of you. Well, if you loop a stoppie, it's gonna land on top of you.
Yeah.
And I actually know somebody who and he's crazy. He still does them to this day. I know rolls them 100 feet easily.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
And he crashed and shattered his pelvis because he was doing them on a sport bike, and it landed on him, and he had to go to the hospital. It was crazy, and he was the one who actually told me that joke. He was like, yeah, like they're crazy, man. He's like, I love them though. It's a thrill, you know. But that's like, it's something I want to learn, but it's something I'm just kind of like.
There's no way. So when you fall off the bike, you can throw the bike.
Yeah.
You gotta
but when you're
yourself over.
Yeah, like when you're going over, like your crotch is stuck in the handlebars. So like literally like you're just gonna fuck splat, and then like it's usually like a kidney or your pelvis.
Yeah.
And then the heavier bikes, the smaller bikes, like the little, like the Z's and the Groms, you can like kind of get away with them, because if you can like kind of launch yourself off, because that's what you want to do, kind of like push yourself over the bars if you can, you know, to do your best to save yourself, just throw yourself over. But you know, the bigger the bike, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
The crotch rockets really have smaller width on the bars too, though, than dirt bikes.
It depends. I personally, like, a lot of people run dirt bars on sport bikes. So they're saying some people have clip-ons, which are like attached to the triple and come out, and those are a little bit easier to like get over, because they're lower, and they're like they're still wide, but they're low. The dirt bars sit up so high that you'll cut, and the clip-ons can turn too. Like if you hit them, they'll move. Okay. If you hit them hard enough, they'll turn, so they're not like set position like dirt bike bars are.
That sounds scary as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's like that.
It's like riding down the road, you hit like a good bump, and they just like fall.
They just move. Oh my god.
Like a bicycle. When you're a kid.
I have no idea. I don't mind clip-ons, because I've ridden a couple. Like I don't have one, but I've ridden some sport bikes, and like I don't personally like clip-ons. I think they're super sketchy because they can bend, and I don't like the way they feel. But I also learned with dirt bars, so I'm kind of like biased. Like, no, I'm gonna stay to these. Like, I like these more.
Yeah, I don't know. They scare me. Crotch rockets scare me, dude. I have a Buell 1125.
You have a Buell? That's cool.
It scares the fuck out of me still. I like it, but I like going fast, so that's what scares me. So anytime I'm on it, I'm just like, well, fuck, this is dangerous. I gotta get off.
Like, I need to chill out.
It's the same thing. I grew up riding dirt bikes too in Colorado, and I never even touched a street bike, so I don't think I'm going to.
They're crazy, man. They're fun. Like dirt bike, I don't know. I just like riding. You know what I mean? I think sport bikes are cool. I think dirt bikes are cool. Like I think if you can wheelie and all of them, like that's super badass. But like,
well, your homework after this is to look up Doug Demokas.
Okay, I will look up Doug Demokas. Okay, I feel bad for not knowing.
You're gonna go home. You're gonna look up Doug Demokas, and you're gonna be on YouTube like all night. Okay,
she's gonna get home like, what the fuck was that guy's name?
I know, right?
Doug.
She's like, that guy really didn't look that old in the podcast to be watching this guy. Thanks. You're the first guest to make me feel old too.
Oh no.
He wrote down what's that one where it's like the road like switchbacks. Is that in San Francisco?
Is it like the Dragon's Tail or something
like that?
Or?
Well, so
yeah, that road, like it is in San Francisco, right? It's
you gotta
really,
watch. Like, see if you can pull it up. Doug Demokas. It's a terrible video. Because it was filmed in like the 80s, but it's like so cheesy too. Because they're like, "Oh no, a car's backing out of his garage," and like he like rides a wheelie over the car.
Oh my gosh.
Classic, dude.
It's classic. Like you can't find that kind of footage anymore.
You can't. I'm interested to see him wheelie over a car. It's
so bad. Well, that's what he would do.
Man.
So like I found out about this because I always thought that wheelies were cool as a kid. This is why I thought that.
So how do we spell this guy's name?
Doug.
Fuck. Doug.
That's not how you spell Doug.
Oh, it's not.
Doug Demokas.
It's Douge. I think.
Doug?
No, that's
I thought it
Dogecoin.
was-
That's Doge.
D-O-U-G.
D-O-U-G-E. What? D-O-U.
Oh, my bad.
Don't worry, this happens every time you try and type anything.
Demoro.
Democus.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Democus.
Watch him not even be on here anymore,
I know. Or D-I-M-O.
Type in the Wheelie King.
The Wheelie King.
Okay.
Because we are not spelling his name right.
You're gonna get that guy that's like, oh, this is how you wheelie.
There
with
we go, the Wheelie King.
So,
This has to be Doug
you
Democus.
know that. You know that.
Oh, that
video?
Doug D-O-M-O-K-O-S.
Democos.
Wow, dude. Democos. You
It's-
fucking didn't even say his name right.
It's Democus.
Yeah, whatever you say, Goose.
You guys can see that bike right there. Like, she's like, wow, this guy's old as
This
fuck.
guy's fucking old. All right.
She's
How do
gonna
you
be at
spell
like
his
she's
name?
gonna be at like the next hangout. She's gonna be like, "Hey, y'all ever heard of Doug Democus?"
Right, Doug?
I guarantee you they're
Boom.
gonna be like, yeah, you don't know that because I'm one of the.
Did this guy die?
Are you like one of the younger?
I am one of the younger ones.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of them like
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of my friends like there's a couple of us that are like in my age group, but the majority of them are like 23, 24 and up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I figured like most of you guys would be younger doing this.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. Like my body hurts. I'm only 30.
Hey, there's a guy, I don't know exactly how old he is. His name's Jason Pullen, and this man can wheelie Harleys up
Mhm.
and down stairs. I don't understand. I think he's like
See,
40s,
like my dad,
50s.
like-
he's up, like he's not up there. I'm sorry, Jason. He's a friend of mine, but like
He's watching. He's
a
like,
little-
wow,
he's
cool.
gonna be like,
Thanks.
wow, like no, he's a little bit, like he's just older, you know.
I told you it's bad footage. Okay.
Oh my god,
Like,
dude.
this is
Lord.
shot in like
I'm gonna
fucking
screen
like.
record this.
This is like before 480 even existed or
And I'm
whatever it
gonna
was.
turn the volume down so we don't get
Okay.
demonetized.
So that's my dad. My dad's in his 50s, and like if we ever want to ride
oh
a
my
wheelie,
god, dude.
Oh.
it's fucking embarrassing because my dad could out wheelie me like you can't
Oh
believe.
no.
But back in the day, I told them they just had shitty suspension, so the only way to look cool was to wheelie. Is this a long video?
By the way, this is Lombard Street in San Francisco.
San Francisco. Okay, I knew it.
You can't have your dad showing you up, man.
See, watch, here he is.
Oh no, the car.
Like imagine riding
I
a
just keep
wheelie.
thinking about it. Like,
It's super cheesy. Oh my
Turn
god.
up the volume a little bit.
hey, that's cool though. I mean, he can steer. That's dope.
See,
I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, he's the wheelie king, you know.
this guy was the shit. He was called the Wheelie King. I think he holds like all the records, like
Those
in
are-
Guinness Book of World Records.
Those are the faces we get all the time.
Just
Right?
washing
Just
dishes.
Disgusted. Like, oh, these kids. It's like, relax. It's not that serious.
Dude, that's classic fucking cinematography right there, man.
Yeah, dude, that's
Amazing.
fucking gold, bro.
The stage people
Oh,
running
Lord.
around. I'm like, come on.
Just watching.
He gets up there and you think it's
Oh,
over,
the
right?
one-hander.
He
Yeah.
comes
Oh,
back, huh?
You're like, oh, he's done. No, he's not done.
Goes around the little fucking tram, the
The
trolley.
The wheelie king, he's never done.
Rumor has it he's still willing.
It's never over. To the
Rumor
Enoch.
has
Stands
it.
up right there. Look at that.
Oh,
One
no,
wheel. Oh,
Oh,
Well, he had to end up in a studio.
with the circles.
see that cinematography, dude? Told you.
Look at that, dude.
And he's off.
The point of view, I like it.
Right? Could you imagine the size of that camera on his
I know,
helmet?
right? Sounds like a two-stroke.
Well, that's all that was around.
That's even harder.
The four strokes weren't really that popular back then.
oh,
Touch the old
oh,
foot.
oh.
No worries, dude. He's got it.
He's the Wheelie King. What am I thinking?
Doug Democus.
Ready? Here's the car. Oh, no, maybe not.
I like the bodysuit, like the full, like in the.
Right?
Here it is, here it is, look.
Oh. He just
No,
stops.
that's nothing for the fucking Wheelie King.
Oh, he goes down
Down
the
the
stairs.
Damn, dude.
Oh, Jason's got some competition.
I like how they're playing like smooth porn music in the background of this guy wheeling.
I feel like I'm watching an infomercial.
Right?
You can't tell he rode over it once before. Don't worry about it. That's a racing stripe. Came out of the factory.
100%.
There we go. Ready?
Ready? This is your next task right here.
That's
my gosh.
that's fucking classic trials writing right there, dude.
Arch.
Look at that. Look, they got to slow it down for you in case you missed it the first
Just
time.
gotta hit him with it.
That's a soft top too.
Did he break the window? The window broke for
I
sure.
don't know.
huh?
Something shook.
Something shattered.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Oh.
he totally broke the soft top.
Yeah.
I think there might
that guy
have
had to
been
get a new
a sunroof.
soft top.
Oh,
All right,
man.
ladies and gentlemen, that is Doug DeMocus.
Doug DeMocus.
Hand round of applause right there. I feel so like there he is on the 3-wheeler too. Dude, you guys got to watch. Okay, you're going to watch all these videos now.
I'm ready. I have homework now. I'm ready for it.
Doug DeMocus.
I remember being like, I was like 5 years old and like I saw monster trucks and I was like, this guy came out in a fucking 3-wheeler and like there's a tightrope and he went up it and like across the whole entire thing over all the monster
This
trucks.
guy,
That's
Doug
cool.
DeMocus.
Yes, dude, he tightrope on a
Doug DeMocus.
3-wheeler.
Doug DeMocus.
Change your life.
DeMocos.
I can't tell if this is like judgy vibes. I'm
So
getting
this
right
was
now.
before I was born.
Yeah, definitely.
Tightropes. So that's pretty like.
It's before both of you were born.
Yeah.
I think he died. I think he might have died before you were born.
I would looking at that footage, I would say yeah, he probably died.
R.I.P. Doug DeMocus.
I'm glad you guys know who Evel Knievel is at this point in time.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I also know the only thing that I know about Evel Knievel, like, well, that's kind of
Hold
a lie,
on.
but
Let's tread lightly for this next topic. Okay.
He broke all of his bones, like every
Like
single
twice.
one. Like how? Like
Him and Travis Pastrana.
that's insane.
So were you ever into like the thought of like
Were you ever
jumping
into
or anything
like
that?
Barbies or no? I'm just kidding.
No, I had Hot Wheels.
He's a Hot Wheels collector.
Hot Wheels are cool, man. They were,
No. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Were you ever into like the thought of like ramping or anything like that? Like jumping or anything like that?
I am actually. I really do love dirt riding. I've taken, of course, it's not my bike, but you know, like I don't have dirt tires for mine, but my buddies and I have gone out, and I'm not, sending it on other people's bikes because
yeah.
I've crashed other people's bikes before, and I feel terrible about it.
That's the worst.
Yeah, it seriously is. And so, but I've gone out to the dirt a couple times. I love it. I like going over the jumps, and I'm just not that good at it.
Yeah.
It's to me, in my personal opinion, if you can ride like legitimate motocross and like off-road and rock climbing, that's like the hardest form of riding a motorcycle, in my opinion. So I have like crazy respect for dirt riders and like people who do like X Games stuff. Like, how do you backflip with a bike and not even hold it? How do you do that? Like, or just crazy things like that. Like, I have crazy respect for stuff like that because it's just it blows my mind personally. But like, I'm literally like a little kid with like every time you see candy, it's like, wow, wheelie, like every time. Like,
Yeah. I felt the same way when I saw Doug DeMocus, guys.
Dude, this guy.
wow, Doug DeMocus.
Oh my God, Doug DeMocus.
I know like 3 people that are gonna appreciate me talking about Doug DeMocus on the podcast right now. So, and I know
Like-
all of them.
like
They'll
if
be
we
like,
could've-
yeah, Doug DeMocus.
If we could have spent the rest of this podcast watching Doug DeMocus, he would have been all
I would have
for
been
it.
stoked. I would have been like, I'm like, all right, check this out, Gia. Like, watch, like right here, like,
see him
watch.
do this, like.
I'm like, they already drove up with the monster trucks. Like, look at that. She's gonna be like, holy fuck, this guy is so lame.
I know.
dude.
I'm gonna text you guys tomorrow. I'll be like, guys, this guy is insane. Like,
She's like, I watched like 40
I've
hours
watched
of Doug
all
DeMocus.
of his videos, bro.
We're gonna see
Quiz
stuff
me.
on her like Instagram of her like trying to go over cars in parking lots.
Hashtag be like Doug DeMocus.
Hey, if Doug DeMocus is like franchise or whatever, like starts making money off this podcast, I want some kickbacks because I am bringing him back right now.
Hashtag Doug DeMocus is my hero.
Doug
And if-
DeMocus, the rebirth.
All these people are within like 5 years of your age and like your group, then like this guy's gonna get some fucking love, okay? Because I guarantee you nobody knows who he is.
She's like, I'm going to San Francisco.
I'm ready. I saw that road. I'm gonna put on the suit and everything.
The one piece. The one piece.
and the helmet.
guys,
Kawasaki.
it wasn't a one piece. That's just the way the suit.
That shit looked like a onesie, dude.
They used to race motocross in that shit.
I know.
Like street bikes, motocross, supermoto. I mean, not. It was flat tracking.
Flat tracking.
Like you wore the
That's
same
badass.
fucking
You
gear.
ever watch flat tracking?
Is that? I'm not
It's
sure.
like it's like a big like oval, like a.
and it's just like flat
And they just
dirt.
haul ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
She's
have.
like, so you just go left.
Yeah.
They're making another left.
Hey, bro, I don't want to
It's like
make this. I
NASCAR.
don't want to make
It's
this
like-
really weird right now. But like, are you wearing the same wedding ring as I am?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you could have told me something, bro. Like, we look kind of gay right now. Like,
Well, I had on C-3PO and then I changed it to
I told my
R2.
wife before I came on. I'm like, babe, I'm gonna wear a new Star Wars ring. She's like, what's like? See, I was like R2D2. She's like,
So these are like
yeah.
Star Wars rings with Star Wars
That's
engraved
cool.
into them.
Not to
And-
butt you out of this podcast. I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
but
fine.
no.
I'm totally. I like Star Wars, so I'm like totally checking out.
You like big Star Wars fan?
I not big, no. But I'm like familiar with it and like
I like
I
how-
enjoy it. I'm a fan of movies, so I have I have an appreciation for really good.
Oh, this podcast just got a lot
films.
longer.
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. It's another fucking 3-hour podcast, guys.
I have a really good like I minored in film when I did go to school.
Oh,
for a
no
little bit.
way.
Yeah. So I have I wanted to do like be behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Nice,
and, like,
nice.
So I have like a very, very high appreciation for very well made movies. Like I see you have the Tron. I love Tron. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, like Star Wars is just, and like, and I'll admit, like I haven't seen all of them in the right order, and you know, but I have like.
You've seen them.
Star Wars is Star Wars, and you have to appreciate it.
It's iconic, you know. It changed the entire movie industry. It really changed everything. So, like, if Star Wars sucks, like you're just uncultured. That's what you are.
That's cool to hear because you don't hear a lot of people say that. It's like agree that it changed.
Oh, 100
movies forever.
He's insane. Like he's a genius, and like they literally created the whole like sci-fi. Like they set the standard. You know what I mean? What do you see now? You know, space and this like. Almost carbon copies of Star Wars, you know, pretty similar. Like, it's just, I don't know, the foundation of.
And I'd have to say, since probably Star Wars came out, that I don't think there has been a single movie made that probably doesn't reference
one like small reference to Star Wars.
Always a Star Wars reference. It could be like the littlest thing, like, oh yeah, what do you like? It's like that. Oh, okay, Han or
I do that all the time. Like, I love it. And that's another thing too. They made such an impact on pop culture references as well. Like, it's just. It's a very well thought out, amazing, amazing series. Yeah, so absolutely. Huge appreciation for it.
Okay, guys, I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
All right, buddy.
I'm gonna hit pause because this conversation is about to hit, and I have some good questions.
You want to pause?
Yeah, I'm gonna pause really quick. Right, cool. Sorry, guys. And we're back. All right. Movies. So I got the questions now. So not that I had to go to the bathroom to think of questions.
I'm like, damn, dude, you're taking a break just to think of some questions.
And I'm like, hey, like, good. Me and my brother got the same ring on.
That's the throne, man. You got to think about it. That's the throne. Like,
we have a bidet in our throne too, so it's pretty awesome.
Even better.
Yeah. Okay. We bring that up a lot in the podcast. So you say that you're into movies and all this stuff. What kind of what would you prefer, like era wise? What has the best movies? Like, what was the best film style? The best?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm a huge fan of Marlon Brando. So that whole era of like, I don't remember. It's been, again, I stopped going to college. So I think that was like the 30s to 50s ish. It was black and white, but
so you're way past what I like for movies, but yeah,
well, I'm a horror movie fan, but just as like written and acting wise, like that era, again, like I said, like I'm a huge Marlon Brando fan, you know, Godfather and whatnot and everything, and he's just, that wasn't made back then obviously, but he was been in black and white films, and I just like, he's a method actor, so I just really like, I have an appreciation for people who are just very natural like that, and like who aren't, you can tell they're not acting. Like, it's like you're having a conversation with them. And like, I think those were really like, it was just kind of like really well thought out plots back then. Exactly. And like, I don't know, again, like I love all movies. Like, I think I'm very like, again, I'm a horror movie fan. So I'm like super, super critical when it comes to those. But like in general, I just really appreciate like well thought out, like shots and like just trying to like, see like what the director is trying to do, because there's more than just like the acting. Like the lighting is, you know, what is it called? A Streetcar Named Desire is the movie I'm thinking of, and there's a lot of like dark lighting and like heavy shadows to create mood.
Is this like Doug DeMoca's old?
Kind of, yeah, it's like Doug DeMoca's old. It's with Marlon Brando, and he like. It's just about, it's a lot. There's like this woman that's related to, like, her sister comes into town and she's like running, and then there's a lot. It's very like, oh, dramatic. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I mean? And but the lighting in that is really like specific, because like the actresses and the actors really kind of made it a point to like hide their face, like in shadows and whatnot. And so I like that, you know, that like eerie kind of feeling. And again, when you're acting, there's a lot more. Like the director chose this shot for this mood, for this purpose. You know, she's standing in this side of the frame, so you can see this part of the frame, or you can feel, or like her half of her face is in the shadows and half of it's not. So that in your mind, it's like, oh, it's like mysterious. You know what I mean? Like, so though, and a lot of the black and white movies, you know, even like Psycho, like a lot of that is heavy, and because all they had was black and white. So a lot,
absolutely,
so I really like picking out stuff like that personally. But
that's awesome. So see, like when I watch,
so like a Hitchcock fan too.
Yes.
Like Hitchcock.
Yeah.
That's our great uncle.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
We're actually related to him. Cool. Yeah.
That's really
our last
cool.
name's Hitchcock. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fuck, now everybody can stop us. I'm just kidding.
God damn it. All right.
No, so like I think my wife hates going to the movies and shit with me at this point in time because like we get done, I'm like, she's like, that was a good movie. I'm like, that fucking film style was terrible.
And she's like, can you just stop analyzing?
I'm like, but the movie, like nobody cares about good shots or like it's like how much they could cram into an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
It's like, like the reason that like we respected like the new Mandalorian series and stuff so much is because like they would have these big cut scenes of them like riding through the desert for like 2 minutes.
It was really like spaghetti western.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Mandalorian?
I've seen it. Yeah, like I don't have Disney Plus. I bummed it off of my phone for a while, so I watched a little bit until I got kicked off, and then I was like, well, there goes that. Like,
she's like, emails, blah 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 blah. Password is no. I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
No, yeah. So like that's something that we lost, and I think it's because of this generation's attention span. Maybe I don't know what it is. But I do really think like you're talking about the weariness of stuff of like a scene. And like if you watch like old horror movies, especially the old slasher films,
like Halloween
stuff like that, like you'd get the scene of like him, like it's a street scene of her walking like a fucking block.
Yeah.
But like he's like popping out in like area. But like that's what was just so creepy. Like that whole scene, you're like, fuck it, like look behind you.
Building suspense.
Exactly. But like the remakes of these old slasher films now when they come out, there's nothing. None of that's there. It's just kill, try and scare you. Big, like, noisy sections that get you to jump.
Yeah.
Which is cool, but like I feel like that the film style and everything now for movies is just gone.
I feel like the only one that's still like capturing that is Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. Oh, Quentin. I love Quentin Tarantino.
Like,
he's such a nut job, and I love it.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
But he's so like, he's an artist at the same time because he's like, he create like, I don't know. I love Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
I think he just has a very unique style.
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that movie's freaking badass.
Create like all over the place.
Yeah. But like the film style, even like throughout the entire movie, it's just cool. Like there's like a scene where it's just like the car driving and you're looking out the passenger window. You're like, what the hell? Like
all cinematography. And that's what I was interested in was the cinematography and like how you mentioned the Mandalorian is just beautiful. You know what I mean? And that those beautiful moments or those scary moments. That's what creates like an attachment to the characters in the movies. And it's been a couple years since it came out, but I liked Bird Box and A Quiet Place because of that. Because you never, and those are like newer movies that like there were a little bit
was
lower.
Bird Box a blindfold movie?
Yes.
Okay.
With Sandra Bullock, right?
Yeah, and then A Quiet Place.
I just saw the second one of that. I never saw the first one.
A Quiet Place.
There's a second Bird Box?
No, Quiet Place.
Oh, Quiet Place. Oh, no, the first one. What is that actor's name? He plays
The Office.
Yeah, he plays Jim. Every time I see him, I'm like,
I don't know his name.
Better run, bro.
Oh, that's right. He was in it.
I just wait for him to like turn towards the camera real quick and like
just like look, do his look. Yeah.
But like I like them because they're low budget movies, but they also like The Quiet Place did an amazing job. You never see the monster, but it's still just as scary because it's all suspense. Same thing with Bird Box. You have no idea what these people are seeing, but whatever it is terrifying, and it's like, and it really like.
It does really seem the B-rated film stuff is more along that line still, as opposed to everybody just wants to see Dwayne Johnson's shitty movies.
Fast and Furious 15.
Who's the guy?
I love Dwayne. Sorry, buddy.
He's a makeup artist. He does a lot of the scary movies.
Rick Baker?
No, not Rick Baker. He was Sex Machine, and once in Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh fuck! I forget his name.
Giovanni.
I forget his name.
I forget his name, but he has like an actual like.
He's a makeup guy.
Yeah, he's
really
world renowned. I think he did. He did
the guy with like the dick gun.
Yeah,
the dick gun.
Yeah, Sex Machine. So I think he even did Corey Taylor's mask for Slipknot.
Really?
He made his mask. Yeah, he's like really well known. But I was watching because he has like a school in Hollywood.
That's cool.
For his like monsters he creates and stuff like that. And he said like the best movie is always like all these movies nowadays always show the monster right away or the scary person right away. He said the thing about these movies was that he wouldn't show, like you didn't show them back in the day, and it like you said left it to mystery because you didn't know what these people were seeing, but they were obviously scared to shit of it.
100%. Like Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my the original one with Johnny Depp in it and all that, and like that's one of my favorites too because of that reason too, because you don't act like you only see Freddy like once or twice, and then at the end of the movie you don't know if she's dreaming or not because you drive away and he's in the car and it's like what and and I like that kind of like.
Yep.
I like the not showing him at all, and then the every so often like, oh hey, I'm here, and then he's gone, and
I
then
think
the whole movie.
That's what they said when they were about Alien. Was you don't see the alien a whole lot throughout the movie, and that's what like really makes it that much more scary because you're like, what the fuck is it? Like,
what does it look like?
Yeah,
like
it was also the like, cause like, yeah, there was those, but then there was like Killer Clowns, like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, right?
Yeah.
So John Massari was on the podcast. He did all the composing.
That's cool.
And
his signature's right there.
That's super. Cool.
Shout out to Massari. We gotta get you back on, man. But like if you like just watch like those scenes when the clown is in like the background and you got the big scores and stuff, and a lot of it for me too was always score. Like you get like the big sounds and stuff, and that's what made it so weary. And then like the person looked back and it's just silent,
or
something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And
so that's like, that weariness. You're not sure, but like if I was in that situation, I'd be fucking gone.
I'd be out. I'd be like, bro, I'm done. Like, everybody says like, you just mind your business. Like it's so easy and that's my thing with horror movies. Like if you just mind your business.
No.
Like, I gotta go back and save them. No, the fuck you don't, get out. Like, run.
See, we're half Mexican. So like,
gotta do it.
Yeah, we just get the fuck out. Like, the fastest one's gonna make it. Like, fuck you, bro. Sorry.
I know that sounds so inconsiderate, but if there is a slasher behind me, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't have to outrun him. I just gotta outrun you.
I don't gotta be fast. I just gotta be faster than the slowest person.
Yeah. You hear a noise in the house, like a Hispanic family, you're fucking out of there.
I hear a noise in the house and walk around with a knife. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, in this house right now, like.
But no, that's one of our favorite questions that a lot of people don't like answering on this podcast, especially if they're in like the film industry and stuff like that. They get like kind of weary about it because I'm like, just admit it. Like movies nowadays suck. They're not good. Like there's no heart or anything put into them. They're just trying to make money.
I feel like Rob Zombie does a pretty good job.
Rob Zombie is amazing. I
He
love
does a
Rob
really
Zombie.
good job.
I like
And
him.
he got such a bad rap when he came out.
Yeah.
Everybody was like boycotting his music because they didn't like his movies.
But he had
and stuff.
such a classic film style too. Like
The Devil's Rejects is probably one of my favorite. The Devil's Rejects and The Crow are probably my two favorite movies, and I love Rob Zombie. Like, and I like my biggest thing again. Like, I'm huge into the
Crow
camera.
was Hitchcock, right? No, that was Burge or something.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Which was I think The Crow is.
I'm too familiar with The Crow.
Don't hold me to that. I'm sorry.
The Crow is it's Brandon Lee Bruce Lee. It's Brandon Lee.
His son.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh fuck! I'm sorry. Wrong movie.
It's Bruce Lee's son. Brandon Lee is the star, and
he died.
He died shooting it.
Yeah, he died shooting that. He got shot accidentally, but I don't buy that personally. But I'm all like, ooh, conspiracies. You know what I mean?
And then didn't Bruce Lee die filming a movie too?
I think they both did die filming movies. Yeah.
I know for sure Brandon Lee died filming that.
He got
movie.
shot during a scene.
Yes, he did, because that gun was supposed to be a dud, and something happened.
I think Bruce Lee got like kicked wrong or something. They were doing like martial arts, and somebody did a wrong move.
Him and his son both died during movies.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's
I could be wrong on Bruce Lee. But
we could be idiots.
We could be idiots.
Who knows?
But yeah, like Rob Zombie, I like the way he films his movies because his camera angles are different. Like instead of a killer or instead of like baby on the screen, he's like behind a wall halfway or like down underneath like the couch or something weird, but like cool, you know, like or like House of a Thousand Corpses, same thing. Like when they're filming in the living room, they're not in the living room. He's like in the room back behind, like from the living room, you know. And I like that because it's like you're close and then you're far and then you're up in their face and then you're not. And then like how he switches where it's like the news more in The Devil's Rejects, but it's like the news, or no, it was see, I'm mixing them all up. The at House of a Thousand Corpses, when you like switch scenes and all that, it's like the bodies and like newspaper clippings, and then I like that a lot. It's different.
I know Zombie had a lot of issues filming the Devil's Rejects. Whatever the main actor was, the blonde, the long hair, the white hair. What's his name? He's the brother. So it's Baby and then her brother. I don't know his name.
His name's Otis, but I don't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, so I know like he was having a hard time doing scenes and he was refusing to do scenes in that movie.
Interesting.
And Zombie was like, we got to get these takes.
Isn't he like a religious guy or something?
I think so. And it was the one where he grabs the girl and he puts a gun down her underwear and stuff like that. And then he's like talking about all of it. And I know that he refused to do it. And I think it was Zombie that said, like, as they were doing that take of like the emotion and stuff that was coming out of it, because he didn't want to be doing it. She didn't want to do it. And he said like there was people that literally were like breaking down on set, like I can't fucking watch you film this. Like this is sick, man. But like when you watch it on film,
good movie.
Yeah, when they got done, they were like, "Holy fuck!" Like they were getting emotional watching their own takes, is what they said. I saw an interview. Dude. Not that I don't know Rob Zombie, but like I watched an interview on it, and that's what he said. That a lot of the people were like, "I don't want to do this scene."
Yeah,
but when you watch that on film, like that's one of the most like impactful scenes I've ever seen.
It's like what? Well, and that's his point. He's like, "I know you don't want to do this scene."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I know you, but you have to
because there are people that miss those kind of scenes. I don't want to talk about like rape and everything, but like there's rape scenes and stuff like that like you watch like I Spit on Your Grave or whatever like that, and like I kind of chuckle, like I'm like, this is like so bad, like this is a terrible scene, like why'd you guys even put this in the movie?
And it's always like the unexpected ones too. Like I know it happens all the time, but like, or actually one of my favorites, so I'm a huge Joker fan, DC. I have a very huge appreciation from the comics all the way to now.
What happened?
Like,
I'm out.
Like, all right. Like,
no, I'm a Marvel guy.
All right. I got it.
She's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I like Batman.
See, there you see. Hey, man, you're outnumbered. Like, no, I think Marvel has better heroes. I think DC has better villains. That's my take on that. Like, I think I like Batman, but I think Marvel has.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
I think Marvel's got better heroes, but Marvel's heroes suck. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't think they're that good, but like
are the Marvel villains?
Yeah,
they're kind
Marvel
of bitches,
villains. My bad. Yeah, I don't. But
I was like okay, calm down. I like their heroes.
Jake Gyllenhaal, right? He did a good Mysterio.
It's still kind of gay. It was still kind of. I'm not supposed to say that now, but it was still kind of gay.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Fair enough.
But like so. Joaquin Phoenix, that whole scene when he
well, I clicked really loud.
That's an incredible movie.
And the fact that him and Heath Ledger were friends and like he lost weight, he was really into the role. But so the scene, I'm assuming you guys know, but when he kills the man in the subway and he runs up into the bathroom, he wasn't supposed to start dancing. That whole scene is completely improvised.
Really?
Yeah. So the music that was playing, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong. Like I remember reading something that said that that like cello or that violin is like some 14, 15-year-old girl, some like small town, like with a small piece pretty much. And what he was supposed to do initially was he was supposed to run in the bathroom, freak out, like be crying, whatever. He was supposed to hold his gun up to his head, pull the trigger, and no bullets come out. That was what was supposed to be filmed. But instead, when Joaquin got in there, it was playing and he started dancing.
Oh,
and
wow.
they filmed it. And he was like, just let him go. And he just did that whole dance in the bathroom. It was totally improvised. And that was like, and I love that because
that's a cool scene too, because the camera's like in the stall.
Yeah. And that scene, and I love that.
That makes sense for the camera angle now, though. If this is true.
He was supposed to run up to the mirror and pull the trigger, but I love that because that scene also is the scene where he becomes the Joker.
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
he's dancing, like, and it's literally like him turning into this monster. You know what into the Joker, like. So I just like that scene gives me chills every time because now I didn't know that, and then when I found that out, I'm like, he literally improvised that whole thing, and
that's
he's
incredible.
Heath Ledger. He was Heath Ledger's best friend, like. So he has.
I didn't know he was Heath Ledger.
I didn't know he knew Heath Ledger.
Yeah, him and Heath Ledger were very, very close.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
They say a lot of people tweak out playing the Joker, but I feel like Joaquin Phoenix really got his shit together during that.
Oh yeah.
Part.
Yeah. A lot of people like lose themselves playing the Joker. I think Joaquin Phoenix found himself
he was
playing
amazing.
the Joker. I love Joaquin Phoenix. He's like one of my favorite actors.
I really liked the Joker, but my biggest complaint was I'm a huge Willem Dafoe fan. And I feel like he completely hijacked Willem Dafoe's demeanor in the Boondock Saints. The dance, the style, the talk, the motions, the movements, it's so Willem Dafoe. And like I feel like after I saw that, I was like, man, like Willem Dafoe would have been a badass fucking Joker. Why did he never get this part?
He would be a badass Joker.
He would be the craziest fucking Joker I think you would ever see.
I could see that.
I wonder if they like spoke or something where, you know, because I know a lot of like they must like intertwine between roles and like again, like how I mentioned the Marlon Brando thing, like method acting. So many people have taken on, like he's known as the kingpin for like the king of method acting. So like
he's the Doug DeMocus of method acting.
He's the Doug DeMocus of method acting. So I wonder if he was like, he saw William Dafoe and was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Weird,
There had to
like-
have been something. Like, if you put the two side by, like,
There
I
has
watched
to be.
people put them side by side, and
They're
like the
similar,
dance
too,
styles are
like-
so the same.
Like when you think about it, yeah.
Even
it
the way he
is.
talks to people and stuff, that's like Willem Dafoe, man. I think Willem Dafoe is probably my favorite actor. So.
I bet they're
And
homies.
he was
They're just
an
like, "What's up?"
incredible-
Like,
And he was an incredible Green Goblin.
Either that or Willem Dafoe's
That's
at his
true.
house, like just cussing him out right now. He's like, "You fucking hijacked my shit."
he wasn't a bad Green Goblin. He was not.
See?
He wasn't bad. They're
Marvel's
not,
got some good
they're
villains.
not all bad, but DC is just a little better.
I feel like I've been getting lied to in the movie scene over the last week because I've been watching the movies that made us on Netflix. Have you seen that?
I've not.
Okay, so
That's
do you
a
have
cool
Netflix?
series.
Or are you hijacking those like Disney
I do.
Plus?
Well, I am hijacking it, but this is a solid hijack. This is like a
Not like a temporary.
this is like a trade. I kind of bought part of it. Like this is my part.
You're
of
pitching
being,
in on
know,
it.
No.
So did you get
No.
No.
when you were hijacking Disney Plus? Did somebody catch on that you're hijacking?
I tried to log in and my profile was gone. I was just like,
Oh.
damn, they hella deleted my profile. Like, what do you do? I'm like, do I go on hers and then let her know?
And she's gonna know what you're
I
watching.
know. That's why
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take that L and walk away. Like,
She's like, I wasn't watching The Mandalorian.
like, good day. Okay, this is your account. It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. Like,
That's rough.
In 2021, that's like the biggest just take to the heart is like when you log on to somebody else's account and your account's deleted. You're
I do it with
Goodbye, old friend.
seriously.
like you can't text now. It's gonna be awkward.
I know. She added me on Snapchat too. I'm like, you removed my profile.
Is this like a friend of yours? Like a good friend?
Obviously not.
Apparently not. Apparently not. If she took my Disney Plus profile off.
Oh,
God damn
shit.
it.
So it's the movies that made us. Okay, it's on Netflix. Check it out if you like all that stuff.
Okay.
It's pretty cool how they make these movies. But I just found out that because I'm a huge fucking This is all Tim Burton.
That's cool.
So
Oh,
I'm-
the Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
gosh.
I'm a big. That's at least I got all
Oh
my. There's all
gosh,
that
that's
stuff.
so cool.
It's not done, but it'll be done eventually. So I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. Favorite movie Tim Burton's ever done is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Of course.
Well, I just found out that Tim Burton didn't actually do Nightmare Before Christmas.
So he has to get that removed.
It's his idea, but he was filming Batman Forever.
He got hijacked.
So he didn't actually do it. His crew did Nightmare Before Christmas. He had he just basically approved the shots is all he did.
He's like, yes. Get out
So-
of my face.
Go.
Go.
Shoo shoo.
Yeah. So I'm watching this and I'm so excited. I'm like, fuck yeah. I find out that what's his name? Oingo Boingo, the lead singer for Oingo Boingo
yeah.
is Dave. What's his name? Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
So which is all that he does.
You know,
all
Oingo
the
Boingo.
I know.
Probably not. It's Doug DeMoca's era.
Doug DeMocus. Title of this podcast, Doug DeMocus.
So Oingo Boingo was a.
Doug DeMocus, the podcast.
People were like, "What? They had Doug DeMocus on?" No.
Thought he died 30 years ago.
You don't know Oingo Boingo?
I don't.
Oh my god. Okay.
I probably wasn't even an idea.
I'm gonna send you a list of things that you need to do after this podcast.
I'm ready. I'm ready
Oingo
to be
Boingo
cultured.
and Doug DeMocus.
Oingo Boingo, Doug DeMocus.
We can't show
All
you
right.
Oingo Boingo because it's copyrighted. But
Yeah. I feel like if you heard a song, you would know Oingo Boingo.
Most likely.
it's in especially if you like old movies.
Yeah.
You'll hear probably
sure.
half of his songs. You'll be like, "Holy fuck, this guy was huge."
Okay,
for sure.
yeah, I probably have heard it then and just have no idea.
What is that song? Like Dead Man Party or whatever it
The
is?
Dead Man's Party.
Yeah, Dead Man's Party.
So
You'll know it.
he was a huge it was a huge band back in that's probably late 70s or the 80s, I think.
Yeah. At least.
But I didn't know what the lead singer did. He does all the scores for Tim Burton's movies.
Interesting.
So I was blown away by this. I'm super excited. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm learning. And then I find out Tim Burton didn't do it. And as Danny Elfman's girlfriend at the time actually wrote the entire fucking Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
So Tim Burton didn't even actually write the movie. He wrote
He's a fraud.
he
but he
designed
got
it.
all the credit.
Yeah. So when it came out, it was a Touchstone picture because they said that it was too evil and gross for kids. So Disney funded it, but they also owned Touchstone. I guess Disney's been monopolizing the movie industry for
What
years.
has Disney not monopolized at this point?
So I'm watching this. I'm like, holy fuck. So when it released, the reason it flopped completely, just found this out too. The movie completely flopped. I thought it was the greatest thing as a kid, but apparently it wasn't. They came out as a Touchstone picture, and then it wasn't until the early 2000s that they realized that Hot Topic and all this shit was selling the fuck out of the merchandise. And
They
they were
had no idea.
we need a part of this. So Disney took the name back over. They put their name Disney and they put it used to be The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Disney changed the name to Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh wow!
Because Tim Burton in the 90s was really a nobody, but in the 2000s he was a huge producer and a writer. So Disney fucked everybody over on that one. And then when I got my tattoo, I was like, hey. You know? So I just found that out. But yeah, anyways, that's a cool fun fact.
So
for all
he's
of our
trying
listeners.
to figure out how to get that removed.
No, I love it. I still love it. And I think that Disney shouldn't have been bitches when they didn't take it.
Disney just takes everything. Disney is running the world. They have Marvel. They
really
Star Wars. They own everything.
They do.
It's an empire.
It really is.
Disney, don't sue us.
I know we're gonna get fucking
either gonna blow up or get sued.
Right? Like,
I just drop hashtag Disney on everything, then they can we'll just talk to their attorneys.
And Doug DeMocus.
I don't think he's alive, guys.
That's a hell of a name, Doug DeMocus.
She's got like a new nickname next time I check her fucking Instagram.
DeMocus. I'm gonna change my Instagram to Doug DeMocus is alive.
Alive and well.
Alive and well.
I swear to God, if this comes back, I need credit.
It's gonna be the same video reposted over and over. Going over the truck. Just the 5-second clip.
Oh my
over
God.
and over.
All right, guys. Now we're making fun of Doug DeMocus. No. How many friends do you got that can ride a wheelie over a car?
Realistically, probably like 2 or 3. I know somebody who's wheelied his supermoto into a car.
Ooh,
nice.
Didn't go over it, but he just like put the tire in the window. I'm like, okay. Like,
I've accidentally ran into a few cars. No, I'm just kidding.
oh.
She's like, oh yeah, well, I hit a dumpster.
You technically went over it.
Do you know how many people make jokes about that? Like, oh, watch out for the dumpster. I'm like, thanks, guys. Like, thanks for letting me know.
I was gonna say that's gotta, especially being a female in such a male-dominated sport.
Oh, they eat me alive. Like whenever, and they make jokes about it to this day. Like what is that? 3 years ago? Yeah, 3 years ago to this day, they're like, oh, watch out the dumpster. Oh, there's a dump. I'm like, I fucking hate you.
If I was in your group, I would never let you live it down.
They
I'll be
never
honest.
do. They never do. They're like, every time we go to the lot, they're like, there's that wall. I'm like, yeah, there's that wall. Like,
is there a lot of women like in?
There is.
It's
yeah, it's
growing
been
for the women, I've noticed.
Yeah. So, in 2018, there was not a ton, at least that I was familiar with. There's a girl out here. Her name's Smash Stunts. She's awesome. Robin. This girl. Her Instagram is Little Bit. She those were the 3 that me personally, I only knew of at the time. And then you obviously find more girls. There's a lot of girls out there that even then, again, that was just who I knew at the time. But back then, there were a lot of there's this girl named Enriette who is writing for Kawasaki, so she's really cool too. But yeah, it's definitely been growing. Out here, we gotta have a couple girls, which is cool. There's only I think maybe 3 or 4 of us. I might be over. There's not a lot, but it's cool. It's nice to have other women with you riding, because the boys are great, they're awesome, they're fun, but riding as with another, it's just different, and you can learn from them. Smash Stunts Ashley, she's somebody that I really look up to. She's really crazy, really sweet girl, humble. Yeah, shout out to Ashley. She's awesome, but she's probably my biggest inspiration, and just riding with her and doing that, it teaches you a lot, because as a girl, you can't do everything that the guy, you got to do it a little bit different. A lot of the guys they're oh, just use your arms. Well, as a girl, you got to kind of
not only that, but weight difference too.
Yeah, 100%. So it's when you find a girl who's more your size, and you're how do you do this? And they totally help you. And in general, people can be nasty and whatnot, but most, especially the girls, have been so nice and really positive and very
helpful.
But yeah, and band together, girl power type thing, because we are in kind of in a boys club type thing, you know what I mean? So it's nice. It is, it's cool.
It's awesome that you say that, because I do think that there's a big misconception nowadays about it's such a girl power trip day and age, that a lot of people are oh, I'm a female, I can do whatever. And it's military, police, whatever you're in, anything like that. But it's coming from all this and knowing what I'm able to do and what a female is able to do is not the same. It's a lot easier for me to throw a bike around. It's a lot easier for me to do things, and it's
Well, I mean, it's biology too.
Yeah, it is. I see a lot of stuff like right now, like everybody's fighting, like, oh, we're equal, we're this. It's like, no, like we are, but it is much harder. Like my hat is off to, like, you know, obviously you're a female stunt writer we got on our podcast. I don't have any guy stunt writers coming on here right now because like when I see a chick doing it, I'm like, that shit's fucking hard for me to do. So when a chick's doing it, like that shit's fucking badass.
Thank you so much.
Because again, like the weight difference and everything, like, you know, it's completely different for a girl to be doing it and like you successfully do it.
Because we're definitely two of the guys that are like, I don't think like you see like the transgender movement right now where they're like, we should be allowed in the Olympics. I'm a female now. It's like, no, you're a fucking dude. We're built differently. We really are.
And whatever, like, and if you like come up and like the whole biology thing, you know, like if you, even with like the transgender thing and all that, if you like, again, it's 2021, so I don't have any protecting myself. I don't have any problems. You know,
Apple, don't take this one down.
I don't do anything. Like, you know, I'm pro mind my damn business. So if you want to do whatever you want to do, more power to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get it. You know what I mean? But as, you know, as humans, like if you develop and go through puberty as a man, you're going to develop more upper body strength, and you're going to go through puberty as a man and as a male would. Same thing with a female. Like women are just, and it's a fact, like it's scientific fact that women are just, they don't have as much upper body strength as a man does. Can that be built? 100%. Like you can build anything. You know what I mean? Like, can women be stronger than men? Of course, but it's just naturally, I mean, like that's literally like how we were, our system is, you know what I mean? So it's just factual at that point, you know what I mean? Nothing like sexist or anything like that.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Absolutely.
But the other thing I do feel that a lot of women abuse with the whole motorcycle thing and being in the guys thing is they do use it more for the clout, for their, like they'll be out there in thongs and stuff like this and showing their bodies, and it's more of like, I'm a chick, I ride a crotch rocket and I'm in a fucking G-string going down the street. It's like, okay, well, but anybody can do. I could do that. Nobody wants to see
Nobody wants to see that.
Doug DeMocus could do that.
Doug
DeMocus could do that.
Yeah, he would have paid attention if he rode a fucking wheelie over a car in a thong. But his fucking one-piece suit, you guys thought.
His onesie.
His leather motorcycle suit was just as good. But a lot of girls do abuse that, and I think that's why it is. For me, it's pretty cool to see actual like girls like you coming up in it that are doing it for the sport. And doing it for the love and the passion of it, not trying to do it to be like, hey, look at me.
Because like you said too, like the women that inspired you, you know, like you could do the same thing for other people as well, you know, and say, hey, I can do this, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely like there's a lot of people, you know, that do unfortunately do this like for the attention and whatnot, and like, you know, male and female. Like I've seen plenty of guys that like. Same thing, girl,
where
and like
thongs out there.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude, butt cheeks out, everything. Like, no, but you know what I mean. And like, personally, like,
dude, you don't gotta oil your biceps to fucking ride a wheelie, bro. Come on.
But like, and you know,
nobody cares how big your calves are.
Exactly, but and if you look, like, I have nothing against, like, you know, I know girls who have done photo shoots and like thongs, but they're badass, you know, they're jumping around, they're scraping, and I'm like, girl, you look good, like, kill it, you know. But I totally get it, like. To me personally, like, it's kind of just like a disrespect to the people who do put the time in. And I'm not even talking about myself because, again, like, I'm very new in this community. I've only been around for a couple years, you know. Fortunately, like, I've been able to learn what I've been able to learn, and I'm so thankful for that. But, like, these people who have been around for 10, 15 years, you know what I mean? Like, it's just disrespectful to them, you know, because it really took them time to, like, build their names, and it really took
to get to where they are.
Exactly. And it's like, if you think you're just going to come into something like this, and that's how I broke my leg, you know, like I didn't come into it, you know, like, because sex sells, you know, any sex sells in any business, you know.
Absolutely.
And I came into it thinking that I was going to be able to hop on a sport bike and learn quick. You know, I knew it was going to take time, but I was like trying to figure it out like ASAP, you know, like within a month, within 2 months. And I almost died because of it. You know what I mean? So if you come into something like this with an ego, you're going to get humbled really quick, whether it's with the clout, whether it's for, you know, I know people who are on top of the world, and then a month later something comes out about them and they crash and burn because they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're not doing it because they love it. You know what I mean? So definitely, like, it's just, you put in so much time and a skill, and then you see people who try to cut corners, and it's kind of like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, like, come on, like, do it like the rest of us. And again, like, if you want to go out, because I literally just did a photo shoot with a bikini top with my bike, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, if you want to go out and look good, you do your thing, but like, you know, learn how to ride. Like, and I encourage girls, you know what I mean? Like, it's a sausage fest, man. You know what I mean? Like, when girls are like, I want to ride, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like, come on, let's wheelie. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, so it's
definitely, that's what I'm like. Yeah. Cause when I rode motocross, it was the same thing. Like, but it was like, you'd see girls doing that, but there was like kind of, back then there wasn't really the social media so much side of it. So like you'd see that, but like it was like, God, like, you know, it's really cool if they ride, but like whenever like a chick would go on a ride with us, we were like, fuck, like it's gonna take forever. Like, we're gonna have to slow down. She's been riding for like 6 months, and then it's all usually some fucking guy's girlfriend or something like that, and they're only gonna be together for 6 months anyways. But we all had to deal with it, you know. That's just that's the mentality we had. So that's why I say like coming as a female going into it, it's got to be so much harder. But then like watching everything online and like the way it's like shifted, and I'm like, God, like most of these chicks are just doing this for the fucking clout to show their ass. And then you see like actual girls like after actually fucking putting in the wrench time. And regardless of like if you have like those pictures, that's great. Because like you said, sex sells. It really, we're musicians, so we understand that completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we are the product. We got to sell it, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
But there's still, there's got to be a level. I got to have that level of respect of where you're actually into this, or you're just doing it to try and get Instagram famous.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, and that,
because if you're actually into this, you're probably not going to make money, but you're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah,
it's going to take a long time to make money.
Yeah, and that's the part, and that's the part that a lot of people miss. You know, like a lot of people want to, you know, I feel like most stunt riders, it's their dream to just ride their bike every day and make money, and that's totally. And the crazy thing is, there's enough room for all of us to make it, and like that competition comes like no. That's not how it is. You know what I mean?
Especially with the internet now, it's anybody can make anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we can all make it. And it's just like, again, people just want to cut corners, and instead of taking years to gain a following, they want it to happen overnight, like instant. Yep. And like one of my favorite quotes is slow progress and equals like humble. It's not, I guess it's not a quote, but it's like slow progress equals, you know, humble rewards, and and fast progress creates an ego. So if you go viral overnight and you get, you know, 100,000 followers or something, I don't even know if you could even do that anymore.
Probably.
On Instagram. But
one
like,
thing, all you got to say is the right thing.
Yeah, and it's like, but it's not hard work. You know what I mean? It's either luck or it's just a video that just, you know, that happened. It's like gambling. You know what I mean? But you really put in the time and the effort, and then because you start, it's just like with anything though, like, you know, all these millionaires out here that at one point they were living in a 1-bedroom fucking studio eating ramen every day. You know what I mean?
It's just more rewarding that way.
Exactly. Like, and you appreciate it, and that's I think that's kind of like where that comes into play. A lot of people don't appreciate the process to get to there. You know.
A lot of the stuff too, like if you look like Gary Vee, any of those guys, stuff like that, Joe Rogan, things like that, like a lot of these guys that are successful, they're doing it, they came from really nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I made fun of The Rock earlier, but look at The Rock. The guy came from living in a fucking car with his mom to where he is now.
Like one of
and it took them years. It's the same thing with podcasting. People think that if they get a cool studio and they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Like, oh, dude, Joe Rogan's huge. Look how fast I can blow up. But like, if you actually take your time and listen and learn, like Rogan's like,
He's been doing it for years.
He's like, it took 7 years before anybody knew who the fuck. He's like, I was touring. I was in movies. I was on TV. He's like, and my podcast was getting 5 downloads. You know, so it's that time, that wrench time. It doesn't matter whether you're riding a dirt bike, you're doing this, you're playing music, 100%. You're making movies. You just got to keep putting it in. But nobody wants to put in that time anymore. And that's what's really sad. And I think that's the only thing about the internet that I hate that's really fucked it up for everybody is they've made it to where sex is dominant. And if you show this, you show that, then you're going to blow up, and it's easy. But 100%. For those of the people that don't want to do that and they want to make it, it takes for fucking ever. And it is hard. It is really, really hard, especially coming from what we do, what you do, anything like that. Like, it's hard to get your name out there.
It takes a lot of time and a lot of, you know, patience and traveling. And so I get it 100%.
Dedication.
And at the end of the day, like, you get 5 followers even. You know, it doesn't matter if you get 5 or 500. You're just as excited.
It. You know, you're so happy and enjoy it. Yeah, and I totally agree. Like, it's definitely like, you know, like if that's how you make, because a lot of girls do just make money like posting modeling photos and like that's again like to each their own. You know, I'm very much like I don't judge people. You know what I mean? That's not really my.
No, I wish I had the body for it.
Yeah, like,
I'd be posting my fucking ass all day.
Like, hey, but, like seriously,
I'd be on all fours on this desk all day long, fucking taking pictures.
Get the angle. Like,
everybody's like, I think his photographer's his brother.
Hit that
like, it don't matter. Look at our fucking numbers.
We have matching rings, bro. It's not weird. Like, it's not weird.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
You're welcome. It's like Doug DeMocus.
Democus.
Oh man, but seriously though, like the grind is definitely what creates like
absolutely
a humble person in general. Just,
absolutely. That's really cool to hear a level-headed person. I don't want to sound old again, but at your age,
thank you so much.
You're very level-headed. You're very humble about everything you do. So it was nice, especially in this day and age, all the craziness going on in the world.
Yeah, seriously.
Everybody's outlook on life and what the America should be right now. It's really cool to hear like somebody that's level-headed coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. It's like one of my I get a lot of like, you know, as most people do, like, oh, you're that age, like you must be like this, you know, stereotypes.
Yeah.
So I try like to really, I don't know, I try to think I've, you know, everybody's acted before they've thought and like acted out of emotions instead of things. So I really try to like
absolutely.
I overthink everything. It's terrible. It's a blessing and a curse. So I'm like, why is this the way it is? Like
judgment's the biggest fucking thing right now in America and
absolutely
society.
It's awful.
Yeah. You know, we've been same way with us. We get fucking grinned or frowned upon and all that stuff all the time, and then they actually get to know us and we're like, yeah, not who you thought we were, huh?
It's just it's terrible. And judgment is like it's just an ugly thing in my opinion. Like the whole like only God can judge me type thing. Like that's very that even if you don't believe in God, but that whole idea of like who are you to judge anybody else on this? You know, I personally I don't think anybody's better than anybody. We're all gonna die. We're all like if you make more money, cool. That doesn't make you better than somebody else. Like if you're if you like it doesn't matter. You know, nobody's better than anybody. Whether
we all end up in the same place.
Exactly. Like whether you're in the top like 3%. The multi-billionaires in the country or the janitor at the
like
high school
Steve Jobs.
Like you're
where's he?
Well,
he might be on Mars.
Well, shit.
It's been a lot of really
him and Doug DeMocus.
It's just like I don't know. The moment you let see, that's where he went.
They're all on Mars.
Problem solved.
He's just wheeling around the fucking planet, man.
Just like, man, I'm chilling. Like
and Elon Musk is taking them all there.
Yeah.
Elon Musk said I'm out. Everybody hates him. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. He's like what like every human being should be right now, I think.
See, that's a humble guy too.
He doesn't care. Like,
but that's because he came from nothing, really. He came from living in a fucking apartment. He had like a couch and
from
a computer.
South Africa, right?
Yeah, like he came over. I'm pretty sure he came over like illegally, even. And look at where he's at now. Like it's just it I don't know. Internet's a blessing and a curse, like we were talking 100%. About. And what you're talking about, the only way to make it through it all is to be fucking humble through life.
Absolutely.
Just be happy, man, you know? And like I've noticed that because I used to struggle with that in general, like being a happy person. And it costed me a lot, you know, and I didn't realize that until actually very recently, like maybe like a month or two ago, like I really realized like how unhappiness can destroy everything. It makes you judgmental. It makes you envy it. Just by being unhappy, it just like creates this whole person that's not even you. And like I've noticed like since I've changed my attitude, at least like I've never I don't wake up sad. I'm not, you know, envious thoughts don't even cross my mind anymore. I don't, you know, and like I've done my best not to judge people, but I'm human, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So but as that's changed, like I just mind my business, honestly. That's like cool. I make myself happy, and like everybody else I'm like,
we're always judgmental of people coming into the podcast because we don't actually know anybody.
you're like, who is this person?
So like he's like, dude, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like she could just preach about fucking Biden and the green tree policy right now. I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's just hope for the best.
No politics.
I think that's why podcasts are so great right now, though, is because you can take people that you don't know anything about, and this is honestly what would happen if I were to meet you on the street and we were to sit down and just like, hey, you want to talk to me for an hour and a half? This is the conversations we can get into, you know?
Yeah.
But people don't realize that. And people don't realize that anybody can do like what people are doing on podcasts and stuff right now. And it doesn't matter whether you're a Trump supporter, you're a Biden supporter, whether you care about space, whether you care about hell, heaven. if you just sit down and have a conversation, we're all the same.
Exactly.
You know, but like nobody
100%.
wants to do that anymore, and it's really, it sucks. So that's why like it's really,
And I think
so
that
awesome
falls
doing
back
this.
on internet and social media again.
To find your
100%.
clique, and then like you were saying, everybody, if you're not in your clique or somebody's doing this, they're like, oh well, yeah, of course he has that. Look who he supports. That's why he's got that nice truck.
100%. And like the whole click thing, man, it's so stupid to me. Like I understand, like, and a lot of people call it fake, like, you know, and I just think that's, again, I think a lot of people like to cling on to ideas and just immediately assume without actually thinking and coming up with their own opinion just because it's like normal or like just kind of standard, you know. So like I've seen things where like you talk to this person, no, I don't like you, you don't, you know, and it's just like, or if you go from one group to another because, you know, I'm personally like, I'm friends with people who like, yeah, I'm sure everybody is, who dislike each other, you know what I mean? Like you migrate to different groups and whatnot, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's fake. It's like, no, I'm a person having conversations with multiple people and not acknowledging any bad type of energy or like anything that I don't want to acknowledge, you know. And I think that's like, it's just closed-minded. I think is our
There's
problem.
a lot of
I think
closed-minded
there's
people now.
yeah, I think people are so quick to be like, that's the one, that's what I'm sticking to, I'm not changing my opinion whatsoever. And that's
absolutely.
That is
so
where I blame
small.
the internet.
yes
That has created the biggest divide in Americans in the world is the internet, and everybody trying to figure out like, oh well, this is what I do, so I'm only going to hang out with people that are interested in what I'm interested in, whether it's fake or real or whatever.
Exactly. You know? And there's so much more. There's so much to this world, man. I mean, again, props to you. If you want to stick to one thing your whole life, like one place, like whatever, that's on you. But there's just so much in this world. I don't know. A lot of people say the world sucks. In my opinion, the world is a beautiful place. Like,
absolutely, with
the good and the bad. Like, we
have
a lot. Like,
the world's a beautiful place. Appreciate the details.
Every good, every bad, even like what's happening across country right now, unfortunately, and like what like. To the smallest things is like you wake up in the morning and it's like the birds, as cliche, the birds are chirping and it's nice and cool and you're like happy, you know what I mean? Like little like everything. And I think people are so quick to like, that sucks, my life sucks, the world sucks, the world is evil. Like, and it's like, no, like if the world was all good, it would be chaos. If it was all evil, it would be chaos. We got to have both. We got to have good days, we have bad days. Like my buddy sent me something that said, the best days are some of the best memories that you have. Your worst days are some of your best lessons that you have. The good days make you appreciate life a little bit more, and the bad days help you realize like small, like they teach you minor lessons pretty much. But like the worst pain teaches you the best lessons. The best days or the best moments of your life makes your life worth living. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Like try not to, oh, this sucks. Well, why is it happening? What am I taking from it? You know, like what's going on? Why, what is this? Like, I'm very much like into the whole, like, you know, what it like manifestation and all that. Just, it's
absolutely.
Everybody, it's like a trend now, which kind of sucks, but like, it's
another trendy thing.
Yeah. It's a practice for me. It's something that I truly practice and like, I actively participate in, you know what I mean? And it's just like, even the bad typically results in something better for you than what you thought before. So that's why. And that, again, like that took me forever to figure out that mindset. I used to hate my life. So like
our family's huge in the metaphysical world and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So
I'm glad you say that. So I'm awesome.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't sound weird.
Okay, good.
Right.
I tread carefully because some
I know
people
you
are
would,
like, oh, you're
you would never.
Like,
you would never think it looking at us, but yeah, our family is huge. Our mom is.
because that's the
energy
that's
healer.
the Malachio, right?
It's Ganesh and the Hamza, and I have like my whole arm is done in all.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Spirituality and whatnot, and I'm very heavy into it. It's
nice.
Made me a very happy person.
We'll have to introduce
awesome.
her to the family before she leaves. Then.
Very cool.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That was awesome. So I think we're already at almost a couple hours here, so we should probably wrap this up. I said if it had momentum, we'd keep going, and we already went over what I thought we could keep going.
I had a blast. It's been so much fun.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Is there anything you want to shout out before you leave? Anything you want to throw out there?
Oh man,
this always puts everybody on the spot.
I know, put me on the spot like that. Nothing in particular. Probably Keith, my buddy Keith. Like, thank you for everything. Cynical Productions. If you guys are like super, he does everything in house. They're all hand printed. It's all screened. It's Cynical Productions on Instagram. He's awesome. It's all bike life stuff. You know, it's just, he's a really down to earth guy, and he's worked really, really hard. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would have never even discovered my passion. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So yeah, I truly, and like I support him 100, like forever. I don't care what anybody says, because he's the person who introduced me to it. So Cynical Productions.
Very cool.
Go buy his stuff. Use my discount code Giazi, GIIAXI. There you go. Save some money.
She's like, and that's my shout out.
That's
No,
it.
but actually, it was actually completely awesome having you on here.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you so
Thank you
much.
for coming down and hanging out with
Yeah,
us.
Thank you for inviting me. I had
We'll
a
have to
good
have you
time.
back, because now that we know you're into all that stuff, I just feel like we open up
Please.
another 2-hour podcast.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I would love to. This is so
Yeah.
much fun. Like,
So, and yeah,
I'll bring some more stuff. You know, I'll bring some drinks. You know, party.
Cool.
Like,
yeah, that's awesome. All right, yeah, everybody, Gia. That's right, Gia.
Yes.
Okay, Gia, we'll drop all of her links and everything down below. I didn't put any of our advertisements up, but you guys know the drill. Hit the link in the description below. Buy your stuff. Use our codes. And yeah, I think that's about it. What if we say anything offensive? What is it, Holden?
Go fuck yourselves.
I love that.
I don't think she has anything to drink.
I'm out of water. I can like do a little bottle flip.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, everybody. Love you.